Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been getting a lot of questions about, hey, I just picked up my B8.5. What are the things that you recommend I do first? And so hopefully after this video, at least like, and by the way, this is mine, what is it? My opinion on what you should do first. This is completely my opinion on what you should do first. Others might say otherwise, but this is what I recommend that you do first. Since I own a B8, this is some of the things that I noticed that as I was doing my mods, I had to do along the line. So to save you time and save you money, in this order, I think if you do this, it will be perhaps the best way to, properly do your mods on your B8 or otherwise any other car as well. So I'm going to start with the first thing that I recommend that you do on your B8 or B8.5 is, so you just buy a B8, you got home 1 week, car feels great, it's super quick, super great. A month later, 1 month, you still have your car is still great, but then you realize there's a lot of brake dust and your car is not stopping as fast as it used to. So number one, I would recommend, the first thing I recommend that you do after you buy your new to you B8.5 or B8 is brake pads. You can I can't even talk. You can either do the rotors and the pads, or you can do just the pads, but just upgraded pads that don't wear as fast, because most dealerships will normally slap on the cheapest rotors they can find, just so that when you come to test drive the car feels great and the car feels awesome. So you're like, oh yeah, I've only driven this car for like 15 minutes, but yeah, this is the car I want. This is the car I want to go with, because they probably put on cheap rotors and pads or cheap pads just for test driving and stuff, test driving purposes. Most dealerships do that. And then takes me to straight into number two. So number one, brake pads. Number two thing you should do is suspension. So, well, this is technically like 3-in-1, I guess. So you either can do springs, coilovers, or air suspension. So I'm not sure why Audi decides to make a sports car, and then when you buy the car, the wheel gap is whack. Like, and I remember watching integrated Ignition 2's video, and he was talking about that, and I was kind of like, I so agree. Why would Audi make a sports sedan with the wheel gap or the wheel fitment just like trash, man? Audi, come on, not cool. So second thing I recommend you do is, because if you lower your car, you lower the center of gravity. Hence, everybody knows this. Lower center of gravity means better handling. So springs, coilovers, or air suspension. Any one of those that you go with is entirely up to you, but that will be the second thing that I recommend that you do to your new to you car, or Audi B8.5 S4 or B8 S4, which is what I have. Number three is gonna be a cold air intake. So a cold air intake will be my third suggestion that you do. And the reason why I recommended this third is because with brake pads, you get better performance. With springs, you get better handling. And then with your cold air intake, you get you might gain some power. The car will feel faster because you get like, it's a cold air intake. So it's taking in more cold air. And there's a lot of manufacturers making that right now too as well. So ECS makes it, 034 makes it, Who else makes it? ECS, 034, APR, CTS. A lot of manufacturers out there making cold intake, and it also goes from like, it can go from like not too expensive to like crazy expensive. So that's entirely up to you which one you want to go with, but there's a pretty good selection of options up there for you to do when it comes to cold air intake. So, and that takes me straight into my next topic. For your mods on your B8 S4 or B8.5 S4, I keep repeating that, will be exhaust. I still personally believe AWE is the best sounding exhaust for the 3.0 supercharger platform. That's just my opinion. And it's funny because I actually sold my exhaust. Ooh, I know it's a video coming up soon, the reason why I sold it, and then also, you know, I just sold it because I wanted to try something else. So I will be going with a different manufacturer that's going to be coming up soon. So I'm waiting for the exhaust to get here. So once it gets here, you guys will find out what exhaust I went with. But till date, I still believe AWE is the best sounding exhaust for the 3.0 platform, 3.0 supercharger platform. So if you do exhaust, or when you do exhaust, the car is going to sound significantly better, because even with the stock downpipe and cats in it, car still sounds amazing. You know, stock tune and everything like that, car still sounds great. And paired with the cold air intake with the and the exhaust, those are some of the requirements you do have to have, or you should have, before you do a stage 1 tune. So you just like making your way in the right direction. And then what I would do, so wait, we have brakes, suspension, or lowering your car. Yeah, brakes, suspension, cold air intake, exhaust, and the 5 would be wheels. So wheels, I recommend wheels as number 5, because stock wheels is still perfectly fine. But once you do choose like a specific wheel that you pick out for your car or for your Audi, you're gonna be like, you know, that's when you park, and then you, as you're walking away, you look back and you're like, damn, you know, like I actually put that together. Like, that's my car. That's pretty dope, you know. And it's not like, don't worship your car, and that your car is not everything, but you know, it's like you feel a sense of like, wow, that definitely, the car didn't look like that when I bought it stock. And then you look at your stock pictures and you look at till that point, and you're like, looks much better. And then you see a stock car driving away and you're like, why? That looks so awful, you know? So, and wheels will also help with handling. And me personally, I think the perfect wheel fitment for the B8/B8.5 platform is 19, remember this, 19 by 10 offset 35. 19 by 10 offset 35. I recommend this wheel because that was my first set of wheels that I bought, was that spec. It was 19 by 10 offset 35, and it was the best wheel option I ever ran. So I didn't have to, at that time I didn't have my big brake kit yet, my BBK yet, but like it rode so well, and it was just so nice. It felt very smooth. The car felt very, very smooth. And I'm planning to go back to that wheel fitment, because after that I did change up my wheels a couple of times. But hands down, that is the wheel spec that I would recommend for your wheels. Wheel option, any design you want. You can still do like 19 by 9, you can do 19 by 8.5, you can do, but the offset that I would recommend is 35. I don't recommend you do anything higher than 35. So I know a lot of manufacturers are doing like wheel offsets that come with like 45 trash, comes with like 52 trash. Don't do any of those, because then you start getting really close to your strut. You start getting very close to your strut. But 35 is like on point, is perfectly where it needs to be. You get like a wide enough wheel that it's not too close to your strut. So yeah, that will be it for this video, I would say. So the 5 things that I recommend, easy things that I would recommend you do to your B8.5 platform will be brakes, suspension, which entails springs, coilovers, or strut. And then the third thing would be an intake. There's a lot of manufacturers out there. And an exhaust would be number 4, and then wheels would be number 5. So these are the 5 things that I recommend you do to your B8.5 when you get them. And then after that point, you can do front lip, side skirts, rear diffuser, spoiler, and all that. Because with these 5 things first, you kind of get a good performance out of your car, and then you enjoy driving it every day. And then remember, do your maintenance, make sure you're good with that. And then, you know, stage 1, stage 2, and all that crazy stuff goes on. So thank you for watching this video. I hope this was helpful, and until then, I will see you guys in the next video.